Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 New Dawn run. Hope you're all doing well. It's time once again to play one of my very favorite characters, the Entrepreneur. The reason for this is that this is a character who benefits very much from the ban system in New Dawn. Not because we have a bunch of items restricted from showing up in the shops, unlike some of the other characters that I've covered, but because this character simply buys so many items that banning things is even more impactful for the Entrepreneur. So we're going to play a classic Entrepreneur run. We're going to use Sickle, the best weapon for this character, and just play one of the very strongest runs in the game and see how powerful we can get. I'm going to take this opportunity to buy items that just make you even stronger, rather than play for strictly the most, the highest win percentage, because I think this character is most fun when you really go off. I'm going to kill that tree there. It did cost me a couple enemy kills, but I think that was fine. We still got 3 materials. So we got 27 materials minus the 30 that you start with on the Entrepreneur. That's 57. What that means is that we missed 2 enemy kills of the possible 59 materials you can get if you get a tree on Abyssal Terrors. And a roll here and look for harvesting. Of course, with this character, you really want to get early harvesting. And then we're going to pick up a sickle, we're going to lock a bag, and small fish I'll leave in the pool, but I'm not going to lock it here. We'll then do some more rerolls, because the Entrepreneur is going to lose all of its money anyways. So I actually did make a small mistake there, maybe. I could have avoided rerolling for harvesting, and maybe we'd have been able to buy 2 sickles. I didn't think we would have the money to do that, but the Entrepreneur's discount made it so that that would have been possible if I hadn't rerolled. I'm going to ban the glasses there, and we will go ahead and lock this sickle. Sharp Bullet, I will also leave in the pool, and then we're going to do another reroll, and we'll lock the fertilizer. Might as well reroll here. I guess there's literally nothing we could find, right? Because it's only sickles that I want to buy for weapons. So I'm not going to lock this loot, but you lose the money anyways on this character. So good to get in the habit of rerolling down to 0 every time, even if there's nothing that you can find. So if I had been able to buy 2 sickles there, we'd have gotten that 5 harvesting anyways from the support weapon tag. So I think actually rolling for harvesting there was a mistake, because it meant that I wasn't able to buy as many weapons. Here, though, I am going to, again, roll for harvesting, and roll again. And we'll take 5 harvesting. You never want to buy melee damage on this weapon. You can if you get it basically for free against nothing good, but because the damage scales with harvesting, and that scaling will increase as you level it up, it's so much more efficient to buy harvesting, and of course that also gives you money. I will take 5 attack speed here, and then we'll buy a sickle. Now, this is actually an interesting spot, because this character specifically is using support weapons. Buying a weapon is almost as good as buying fertilizer, so I think I actually will reroll and look for sickles rather than buy the fertilizer. But because I now know that I don't have enough money to buy a sickle if we reroll into it, because they cost 15, I'm going to buy the fertilizer here and then throw out a reroll. Landmines, I'm just going to go ahead and ban. I'm really looking for super powerful level 1 items to show up, and we can get a ton of harvesting and a ton of economy on this character, because we can ban a bunch of level 1 items and get the really good level 1 items to show up in extreme quantities. There's a lot of level 1 items that are good for the Entrepreneur, and we have tags for economy items, so we're more likely to find some of the most powerful level 1 items as well. So banning from level 1 gives us a huge bonus. We'll keep taking harvesting here, and then I could take 8 more harvesting, although honestly 63 is high enough. I know that's shocking to hear me say, but I think I am just going to take 6 max HP. 2 armor is also worth considering, but 15 max HP was pretty low, so I wanted to boost that. Here, this is a great shop for us, because we get to buy the sickle, buy the bag and lemonade, and ban Gummy Berserker, so we get another bad level 1 item out of the pool, and then we get a free reroll. Here, we're going to go ahead and ban the Dynamite. We'll buy the Whistle, and ban the goat skull, because again, we don't want to buy melee damage, and then we get another reroll. And then we'll take a sickle, we'll lock a gentle alien, I will ban hedgehog. I'm really just banning any level 1 item that we don't want to make the really strong level 1 items more likely to appear. And then we will lock these two. And I guess I'll reroll. Technically, we could find a level 2 sickle, and there's also some other level 1 items we could buy. I am going to buy the Ugly Tooth, actually, or we'll lock the Ugly Tooth and buy it next wave, because that gets another level 1 out of the pool. So I'm basically spending the 26 materials that the Ugly Tooth costs to buy one ban. But then also, even though the item itself isn't very good for us, but then also we get a free reroll, so we get some discounts there. Go ahead and kill this lamprey, and you can see that because our weapons scale with harvesting, which we're building tons of, we do really good damage. I do want to kill this gobbler. I was letting it eat some materials, but I need to kill it, obviously, before the end of the wave. So letting it live that long did cost me the curse alien kill and that tree, but we did make a bunch of extra money, so I think it was still worth it. 3 roll here, and then we'll take 3 regen. This character now is so well set up for economy that I really need to focus on defensive stats, and I'll just take 2 more regeneration here. We'll keep upgrading our sickles, so you can see these scale with 15% of our harvesting, so the more levels we get on these, the better. Then we'll buy all these items and reroll. We'll buy a sickle. I'll just go ahead and ban the feather, and then I will reroll again. Another item that I do really want to find, or another stat, excuse me, that I really want to find is more speed. I will take the nail. Again, this is a unique item that we can pull out of the pool, so it's sort of like getting a free ban on a level 3 item. And boxing glove is, I think, bad enough that we'll just ban it. Again, we don't really want to buy melee damage, and although maybe knockback could be useful if we find coil or something later down the line, we would rather just focus our bans on our level 1 items to make powerful items like bag more likely to appear. So you can see here, because Entrepreneur is more likely to roll economy items, so bags are more likely to show up, and because we banned 8 level 1 items, Wave 5, we have triple bag. We have triple bag, fertilizer, gentle alien, whistle. Like, we have all premium level 1 items and an ugly tooth, which we just got as basically an extra ban. So you can see how high the item quality you get is with this character when you manipulate your rolls like we have. I'll take the baby elephant just for fun, and sickle actually has good crit damage, so claw tree is probably worth buying as well. So I guess I'll lock it. No, I don't think it's worth locking. Actually, I'm not going to lock the baby elephant either. We want to reroll a couple times anyways to spend our money since it's going away regardless. So I can hold out for better things to lock. The beanie is definitely worth locking. Crossbow and flute, obviously we wish those were more sickles, but they aren't. So now we have enough harvesting that our base damage, our base weapon damage, is actually growing pretty well by itself. Every wave, our weapon damage is just going to increase from the natural scaling of our harvesting. Obviously, I could use more harvesting, and we could use some percent damage and some attack speed in order to make our sickles a little more powerful. Because at this level, we're still not quite as high damage as some other weapons, but obviously we're making excellent money. Here I'm going to take 9 speed. I definitely want to get that positive, and then we will buy a nail. This is because I have a bunch of engineering already, so, and because it pulls a unique item out of the pool, and then we'll buy the beanie. This is a spot where we could buy the book, because we have nail, so it gives us 1/5 of a damage, but is it worth spending 12 materials on 1/5 of a damage on each of our weapons? I think because it's so cheap, I will buy it, but usually you don't want to buy engineering just for scaling the damage with your nail. But picking up book is okay because it's a unique level 1 item if we find fairy later on, and it will work with any structures that we do actually find. And so spending 12 on 1/5 of a damage is okay. It's just not particularly strong. People will get really bent out of shape if you pass engineering items while you have nail. Ask me how I know. And it's almost always right to do so. The baby elephant, I think we'll pass on again. I feel like I can just get more important items. A coupon, of course, is excellent, and we'll buy small fish as well. Buying small fish is nice with sickle, because it's going to get us to the point where the sickle is doing more damage faster. Then we'll lock another sickle. I don't really want to lose armor, but glass cannon's a lot of damage, so I will buy it. And that means I just have to spend my level 10 upgrade. We'll just have to roll for a 3 armor upgrade, and then hope we find some armor items. There's still a bunch of them in the item pool. We haven't banned any. And there's a lot of armor items at level 1. We could find duct tape, we could find helmet. So I think we're reasonably well set up to find armor. I just need armor and regeneration mostly are the stats that we need at this point. Took a couple hits there, so I do need to be a little careful not to die, obviously. That would be embarrassing. And then let's reroll here. I'll take 10 attack speed. That's part of what was making it more likely that I took those hits, was my attack speed was low, so I wasn't killing the enemies before they got to me. And a reroll here, because I need to find armor, so we're going to roll and roll and roll. Okay, well, I missed a million times, so I spent 50 materials looking for armor. Unfortunately, I will just take the max HP there, because I can't afford to spend that much money looking for armor. The question is, since I missed on armor that many times, do I want the glass cannon at all? I think I still do, but you could easily choose to just pass it there, because without having -3 armor is really dangerous. We'll lock the blindfold here. I'm going to pass on these other 2 items. We'll lock a sickle and lumberjack shirt and insanity. And we're throwing away 14 materials, but that's okay. So I need to be really careful this wave, because with -3 armor, I can die in 2 shots, probably. Especially to any cursed enemies that might spawn. If we get the cursed walrus spawning, then that could be really dangerous as well. Fortunately, it wasn't cursed. Cursed walrus, obviously one of the most dangerous things that can happen on Abyssal Terrors, so always have to be ready for the possibility of that occurring. Alright, that hit wasn't so bad, even with negative armor. Now work my way over here and kill this tree, get the full heal, and then try to make as much money as possible this wave. And you can see we made 350 materials. All right, we'll take a book. It scales with our nail. And then here I could take harvesting or move speed, but I think I'm going to roll again for armor, though 15 attack speed is too good to pass, so we'll take that. We'll buy all these items, and we'll do a reroll, and rip and tear, mildly interesting, but we're not going to be buying melee damage. We also buy damage at 50% with the entrepreneur, right? So you don't want to spend money on damage in particular. I will take the turret there, and then I'm going to roll. Blood Leech cost me a lot of harvesting, so I'm going to pass on that, but we'll buy all of these items and get a free reroll, and then we can keep leveling our sickles. We get to fix our armor a little bit with the leather vest, but I am going to decrease it with the wheelbarrow, because again, being able to buy harvesting is so good. Minus 3% damage for plus 10% damage, or plus 10% attack speed is fine, even though we don't use the ranged damage on the small magazine. The attack speed is good, and that gives us a free reroll next shop. Alright, so hopefully we don't get completely outplayed by the level up screen again, and we're able to spend at least our level 15 level up getting armor. And I could pick up 2 armor, maybe, from another random level. We don't have much luck, so my level up screens are not likely to give me, like, really high level boosts. One decision point, though, that is worth revisiting is early in the game, I took 6 HP over 2 armor, because I only had 15 HP. But at this point, because I bought that glass cannon, I would much rather have taken the armor. So worth thinking about when you make a decision like that, whether it would have been better to make it the other way. Here I am just going to take 1 armor. Again, with 0 luck, we're not that likely to find a level 2 upgrade, and that's by far the most important thing for us. We'll buy out this whole shop. We'll do a reroll again, and I do want to build dodge, but I don't think we can buy gambling token, and I'm actually just going to roll past all of this stuff. We'll take a sickle, and we'll roll again, and fertilizer I'll pick up. Weird food will lock. Compass, do I want that? I do want more movement speed, but I feel like there are better ways to get it, so let's do our reroll, and we'll lock a recycling machine. So I was able to buy 3 armor, and then I reduced it by 1, so I'm at -1 armor right now. So still definitely in the danger zone, especially as we approach the upcoming boss waves. I don't remember if I have an elite or horde wave as my first wave, and I don't remember which wave it's on, so I should definitely look at that at the end of this wave. We'll need more armor and regeneration to fight an elite than we will to fight a horde wave. Whereas a horde wave, I might need more attack speed. So it can affect your decisions what you have as your first boss wave. Always good to keep an eye on that and make sure that you are building your character appropriately to the challenge it's actually facing. Here I'm again just going to take 1 armor, and I guess I'll take 16% damage, which gets halved to 8%, but still a pretty big boost. Alright, so we have an elite on wave 12. So we have a couple more waves to find a little more healing and a little more defensive ability. We will keep upgrading our sickles, which is excellent. Getting those all to level 3 is awesome, and then we'll do a reroll here, and now we get to start getting them to level 4. Given that we're playing the Entrepreneur, our items are really cheap. 26 for 1 HP I think is actually okay. So I will buy the jelly there. And then let's upgrade our sickle, and we'll buy a weird food, and I'll lock another sickle. I'm going to leave the eye surgery. I could lock it to be able to buy it, because if we buy 2 of them, it's like getting a ban. But I think that most of the times that we would be using burn damage, I did pass a scared sausage earlier, but we're not building around that sort of thing. But most of the times when we would be using burn damage would be for things like fried rice anyways, where the point is to have the enemies be on fire rather than actually deal the damage from the burn. So burning faster would actually be a disadvantage if we ended up with any burn damage effects on this build, which we're unlikely to. Need to be a little careful here. I did take a couple hits and then walk into another attack. And then there is that cursed anglerfish, which is a pretty dangerous enemy to face. So I'm looking again for armor and regeneration before we are fighting the elite. Our damage, as you can see, is really good, so I don't have to worry about that. This is our level 15 level up. I'm going to reroll for +3 armor. And okay, well, perfect. We got a 4 regen and a 3 armor upgrade. That's exactly what we needed. This is a high enough economy character that Spyglass is okay. So we're going to go ahead and pick that up, and we'll keep leveling our weapons. I'm going to roll past the Riposte and Bone Dice. They're both items I could buy, but they don't do that much for me. Fresh meat is fairly efficient, and our weapon does attack somewhat quickly, so lifesteal could be okay. So let's actually buy that, and I'll build lifesteal and regen a little more evenly. We'll buy Broken Mouth. Ghost Outfit, I'm pretty nervous about buying. We don't have enough dodge to make dodge good yet, and this will reduce my armor back down to 0 right before an elite wave. But on the other hand, we did come here to play, so let's go ahead and buy the Ghost Outfit. We Alright, so I'm gonna buy the fried rice, and then if I find an incendiary turret or another scared sausage, we can buy that. 3% damage on the head injury, I think we'll just pass on. And now that I'm building a lot of dodge, I think it, even at the cost of 1 armor, is actually correct to buy the gambling token there. And then we'll roll, and I'm gonna leave these slots open because I really want armor items to show up, or regen items to show up, or a move speed thing. The ghost outfit is super, super dangerous going into this elite wave, and if we were strictly playing to maximize our chances of winning, we shouldn't buy it, but it is just such a fun item that I'm going to buy it anyways, and we'll just try to kill the elite without dying, even though I have reduced my armor and move speed. We do have 30% dodge, so it could be worse, but definitely could be better. But now that we can get to 70 dodge cap, this character's endgame will be incredibly strong, because we're gonna be very, very hard to take down once we get a bunch of extra dodge percentage. Made a little less money this wave. Here, I think I just have to take the 1 armor. Having no luck is really hurting this character. But getting to at least 0 armor matters a lot before this elite fight. I'll take the acid here. It does cost me 2 dodge, but going up to 57 HP will help a lot. Here I'm going to reroll. The metal detector would be fine, but there's a lot of other items that we could use that would be better. And all of these items are actually excellent for us. I'm very happy to get these because we have the fried rice, so that'll give me a lot of additional regeneration. Not, again, if you were playing strictly to maximize your chances of winning, you should just buy the knot here, because it gives us a bunch of stats that we need. But again, we're playing to have fun, so we're going to roll past that. Take the Lost Duck, because now I actually am going to have positive luck. We'll buy Banner. Both range and attack speed are pretty good. Well, attack speed's excellent, and range isn't actually terrible for this character. And then I'm going to lock all of these items as well. I need more regen, and I've got +5 consumable heal, so we don't need to worry too much about the alien worm. Alright, this is one of the more dangerous elites that we could have rolled. And I back off just a little bit and try to heal up, and we'll try to keep it on fire so that we're getting fried rice healing. I don't like my position here, actually. I put myself in a really bad spot because you shouldn't try to fight this elite from the edge of the map there. So that was bad movement. This elite you want to fight in the middle of the map so you have room to back off from it and then move back into it after it's done its attack patterns. So you can see there, we did that, and then we were able to kill it. So I made that a little bit harder than it needed to be, but still a fairly clean elite kill. Bloody Hand. So currently, this does not give us that much damage because this character buys damage at half rate. We don't have the regen to support the damage over time yet, but we should be able to pick some up, and we have the fried rice and stuff that'll boost our regeneration. So I'll take the Bloody Hand here, and then it's going to take 10 more harvesting, just increasing the base damage of my weapons again. We'll buy all of these items. We'll do a reroll. We'll buy, I think, just all of these items and get a free reroll again. And then I will pick up the mushroom and lock the beanie. I'll lock the lighthouse as well. This is a bunch of extra damage for our nail, and then we'll roll again, and we'll go ahead and lock a sickle here, and I guess re-roll with the last 13 materials, and actually that re-roll paid off, because it got me an armor. I don't have to worry as much about my defensive stats now, because we're going into a Horde wave, rather than an Elite wave, so I just need attack speed, mainly, for the Horde wave. Damage will take care of itself, because we have a bunch of harvesting, which is growing rapidly over time, so our damage is just going to continuously increase throughout this run. Gonna go ahead and kill that cursed hatcher, and I do need to pick up a little more dodge. I've invested some in dodge, and this is kind of the worst amount of dodge to have bought, is like 30%, because it's still a pretty inefficient defensive stat, but I have spent a lot of money on it. You would much rather have spent no money on dodge, or have a bunch of dodge, because the more you have, the better each point is. I've already got one pierce, right? We have the sharp bullet. So I don't think I need a second piercing shot. So I'll recycle the bandana. We'll recycle the scope here. I have a move speed item locked in the shop. So I'm going to re-roll this. And so glad I re-rolled that. Getting 3 armor there really helps this character. Let's go ahead and keep upgrading my weapons. And we'll buy another gentle alien. Now I'm going to pass on the glass cannon. Our percent damage is in much better shape. And I can get away with low armor in the early stage of the run, but now it's no longer as acceptable. Keep re-rolling. Definitely do not want to take Triangle of Power when we have Bloody Hand. We'll re-roll again. We do want to buy Whetstone when we have Bloody Hand, because Lifesteal gives us damage now. Lock another sickle, and we can buy both of these items. I can't quite re-roll, but that's fine. Ball and chain, our weapons already attack much faster than the ball and chain minimum, so we're definitely not locking that. So at this point, I now have the defensive stats that I can pretty easily just charge into this Horde wave. And with the attack speed and damage that we have, it's very rare that an enemy hits us. And with the healing stats that I have alongside the dodge and armor that we've picked up, the amount of damage that's coming in is low enough that we just don't have to worry about it. One other downside that we have for this character, or one other thing that's not going as well as it could, is that I'd had very low luck. Oh, I saw that other loot alien right at the end there. I missed one loot alien kill. We have very low luck, but we got triple bag, which meant that the bags were not working as well as they should have been, because we're getting fewer crates than you would expect. I'll take the small magazine, and then here I'm going to take more armor, and I don't need more max HP. 69 is the perfect amount. We'll go ahead and pick up 15 more luck, and then I'll take another sickle. The level 1 doesn't do anything for us. Stone skin, I could buy it just to pull a unique out of the pool and maybe get other level 3 items. I'm going to take the incendiary turret again just because we have the fried rice. Do I want the stone skin? Attack speed is good. Max HP doesn't matter that much. But I think I will just buy it just to, again, get a unique item out of the pool. I'll buy the bone dice now, and we'll keep rolling. We'll buy a propeller hat. We'll keep rolling. We'll max out our weapons, which is great, and buy a couple more items here. We'll buy another weird food and keep rolling. And you can see this character really starts going off in the end game. Weird Ghost we actually could buy, even though I have Bloody Hand. Let's fix the sort, so let's get it to actually sort by obtaining here, and then in the correct order. We have Bloody Hand, so we're taking 1 damage over time, but I have 14 regeneration, so we're healing more than 1 hit point per second. That means the healing tick will happen before the damage tick, so I actually could buy the Weird Ghost. We just don't need any max HP, so I'm not going to, but it's worth knowing that you can do that. I'll lock the beanie here, and even in the end game, I think the black belt will be fine. We obviously don't need these weapon upgrades, because our weapons are already all level 4. I have a tree and a lumberjack shirt, so Pocket Factory would actually be pretty good for us. It would help kill trees without having to run at them. But then also, Pocket Factory is basically a healing item for this character, because we have fried rice and scared sausage, so that'll spread burning damage around the map, which will give us additional regeneration. So if I find Pocket Factory, it'll actually improve my healing. Kind of a fun side effect of the way that this character is built currently. We're making so much money because I have 300 harvesting here, and then we'll buy the alien worm and more armor. Armor is pretty much the only stat we need now, so that's all that I'm focused on. More regen would be good as well. I could actually buy Estes Couch. This character could be an Estes Couch user, because we would get 20 regeneration. I would lose 10, or I'd go down to minus 10 movement speed, and then we would be gaining 2 regen for every negative movement speed, so that would put me up to 36 regeneration. I don't think that's worth it, but it is actually worth considering in this spot. I'm going to go ahead and buy these items and then roll, and we'll take a Sift's Relic. We're very happy about that. More armor, and of course the material pull-in is always fun. I'm up to 40% dodge, but I definitely could use more dodge. Alright, so here's where we did get a little penalized for banning Boxing Glove and pulling all of those, and buying all the negative knockback. It means we can't buy Coil, but that's okay. Coil is certainly not a high priority item for us. We'll just buy these other 2 items. Again, on the Entrepreneur, also, you just want to spend down to 0 materials as much as possible. Even if you are buying a kind of marginal item, it's better to spend your money because you're going to lose it otherwise. Let's see. We've got that loot alien. I do need to keep the mini-bosses clear. They do quite a bit of damage, so I need to make sure that we're not getting hit by those. We don't have a ton of curse, but if one does spawn cursed, it can be pretty dangerous. Also, can increment the doo-doo counter for those who keep track at home. We'll go ahead and pick up some more attack speed. Alright, a Cursed Strange Book. Unfortunately, we have no elemental damage and aren't going to be buying it, but do I want to spend 140 materials just on 5 curse? I think that's fine. We'll reroll here. Ritual I'm going to buy because it gives us lifesteal. Defective Steroids and Book we don't really need anymore. I'll keep rerolling. Ice Cube is nice. We have a Scared Sausage, so that's going to increase enemy damage. We'll take another Lemonade and we'll roll. Unfortunately, the crystal doesn't really do anything for us because we have Bloody Hand, so we'll be constantly losing the bonus. I guess I'm going to buy the Will-O-Wisp. We will get a little bit of elemental damage out of this because almost every enemy that we're killing is burning, and that just could be fun. And then here, we'll definitely buy Candy Bag. The Spyglass will probably pay for itself, even just in the last few waves, because it's very cheap and we're rerolling a lot. And obviously, Jerky is an amazing healing item. I love the graphic for Will-O-Wisp, by the way, the glowy eyes. So we got our first point of elemental damage there. Because a lot of the enemies that we're going to be killing are on fire thanks to our double incendiary turret. And we have a Scared Sausage. And we're setting a bunch of other stuff on fire as well. So we can pick up a few free points of elemental damage. With the Strange Book, buying elemental damage is good for us. Boost my engineering. Also, Will-O-Wisp is just a fun item. I'll take a defective steroids when it shows up for free. We'll definitely take this bowler hat. That's another cursed item with even more damage. I'll take 6 dodge here, because I do still want to get towards dodge cap. Let's see. So the Will-O-Wisp has given us 3 elemental damage, so I didn't quite manage to get the maximum. I'm hoping that we get the 10% chance and hit a second elite this wave, because that would just be fun. Buy the turret, we'll buy a warrior helmet. If these baby geckos showed up earlier, they would have been nice. Now we have Sif's relic, so we don't need it. Really good to find all that armor. We're very happy with that, and even more armor is great. Gambling token I will lock as well, and I'm going to buy the baby gecko. I don't think I'll be able to buy anything else. Although I was kind of punished, because I could have bought the coupon instead. But basically, I didn't think I would be able to buy anything in this shop after re-rolling. Even with the extra money from that baby gecko. So I figured I could spend that money on 10 range rather than not get anything out of that money and have it just go away. No double elite, sadly, but we should be able to kill this single elite very quickly. Making sure not to let too many mini-bosses spawn again. That's the only thing that we're really concerned about this wave. Obviously, we're really strong, so I'm not even worried about that, but that is the way that we could potentially lose this run, is if I let too many of those spawn and just get overwhelmed with the number of attacks. Yeah, we'll definitely take the Retrimation's hoodie. This time, I don't even have Ball and Chain, which I did last time I bought Retrimation's hoodie. I'll take 3% damage. My max HP is fine, and we'll pick up some more move speed here. 12 dodge is perfect. We definitely want to get to dodge cap again, and then let's re-roll. I was hoping for a 9 dodge, but even a 6 dodge would have been good, but I'll roll again. Sure, I'll take 20 luck. Do I buy Fishhook just for 1 shop worth of potentially cursing something? You know what? I can't resist the 69 material Fishhook, so we'll buy it, and then we'll keep rolling and rolling. We'll take the defective steroids, we'll take the metal plate and the cake. I don't actually really need the cake. We had tons of max HP, so that wasn't really necessary. Buy the metal and the butterfly, and we'll roll again. We'll buy Dangerous Bunny and Bat, and do a free reroll here, and then Fishhook will get no value because the only item I'm locking is this already cursed baby elephant. The Vigilante Ring obviously doesn't do anything going into wave 20, so no point in locking that. Alas, 69 materials wasted. We did get a bonus candy bag elite though, so that's fun. Get to fight an extra elite here. So far, okay, nice. We got a loot alien. I was gonna say no crates this wave, even though we have finally fixed our luck. But we did get a loot alien, so that dropped a crate. And this tree, not so much. On the other hand, 1,200 materials that wave. Explosive turret, sure, I'll take it. It just seems kind of fun to have. We definitely don't need the 1 HP, so we'll pass on that. I'm going to take 10 attack speed here. It matters more. Okay, nice. We got a cursed sickle, so I will buy that, and hopefully we can level it up to maximum. If not, the cursed one, I think, is still better. Yeah, it is still better than the level 4. I'll definitely take the ashes here. Obviously, a great buy going into wave 20. And we'll buy the coffee. I guess I'll take the warrior helmet. Fruit basket, I think we can just pass on. Sad tomato for more regen. We're probably safer if I buy that. And let's go ahead and re-roll these things. I'm really just looking for a level 2 sickle at this point. Is kind of the thing that we need the most. I will buy coffee, though, just because it'll help us kill the enemies even faster. And we'll do some more re-rolling. There's the level 3 sickle. So I'm actually going to lock this so that if we find a level 2, we can go straight to level 4. And do I want the broken mouth? Not really. Okay, here's a level 4, but not a cursed one. We'll take the leather vest and the penguin, and we'll do some more re-rolling. And I guess we're not able to max out our cursed sickle, so that's okay. We'll just go ahead and buy the weird food and then go into wave 20 here. No bonus elite this wave, sadly. But I think we are going to be able to kill the bosses pretty quickly. So let's see how long it takes us. And there we go. Alright, so that is the Entrepreneur with Sickles. I think this is just one of the very strongest runs in the game, and it's even more fun now that you can ban a bunch of the garbage level 1 items. So let's actually sort by obtaining here. You can see, look at the quality of our level 1 items. We got triple fertilizer. Some of those were later, but still. Triple fertilizer, triple bag, quadruple lemonade, double gentle alien. Just incredibly high quality level 1 items. And even the goofy ones that we bought, like these turrets, obviously still had their place in this run. But mostly you just end up with incredible item quality because you buy so many items. Banning a bunch of items gives you the opportunity to buy just tons of really good items. And then you can look at our stats, and we finished with 260 attack speed, 70 dodge, 30 armor, 600 harvesting, and so on, and just have these ridiculously high stat numbers. Bag gave us 900 materials, a little low for triple bag that early, but it took us a while to build up our luck. And coupon saved us 750. The turrets actually did 35,000, which is pretty funny. Cute monkey for 230 healing, recycling machine for 300 materials. Spyglasses more than made up for what we spent on them. In high economy runs like these, spyglasses are really good. And 740 materials from those. And then actually 37k from our double incendiary turret, which is not bad either. Adrenaline actually healed us for 12. And wow, this is so one of the best bone dice I've ever seen. 17 bonus damage and only 2 lost HP. That's way over par, which you expect a 5-to-1 ratio, so 10 for 2 or 17 would be 3 or 4 lost HP, so that one did really well. Will-O-Wisp gave me 9 elemental damage, which then of course is halved to 4, and the candy bag gave us an extra bonus elite, which was really fun. Dangerous Bunny only saved me 35 materials. We bought it really late in the game, and I didn't end up doing that many free rerolls with it, but still a solid item that's worth having anyways, because the listed amount that it saves you is lower than the amount it actually saves you, because by making one reroll free, it reduces the subsequent price of every other reroll. Alright, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this run, and if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. It helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.